Throughout the course, you'll see me using my brakes, coming into turns through steep sections when it gets a little bit gnarly. Brakes are a huge part of downhill and enduro riding. So I want to go through three things really about how you get them set up, where you use them, and then kind of the balance and between front to back. So the first one is just the personal preference. How much do they pull into the bar? One way you can kind of fight hand pump is winding them in a little bit. You see on Bernard's bike, they're just wound in almost to the bar. You need them to bite really quickly because you don't want to be coming down a steep section, have them pull into the bar, not have any bite, and you blow off the trail. I like them to bite a little bit further out just because I run my hands a little bit further in, and it just feels nicer to me. I've always had to do a little bit more riding to strengthen my hands for that, but again, just personal preference. The next piece is the braking points. So a lot of the time I kind of pick my braking points strategically. So thinking about it like an F1 car almost, right? Getting a braking point, picking a rock if you're racing, or a flag, or some roots to say like, this is where I'm gonna be on the brakes, this is where I'm gonna be off. And as you get faster and faster, it's not about shortening your braking point if this is my turn, not about shortening it from this side, it's really about shortening it from this side, letting off the brakes earlier instead of getting on the brakes later. That's gonna allow you to carry more speed through the turn, more speed in the exits, and more speed overall. Average speed is what we're always looking for. The last thing I wanna think about is really just the balance. How much am I using my front brake versus my back brake? And if it's a really steep section, I'm gonna favor my back brake and use my front brake as much as I can. That braking, really hard braking position is gonna be kind of lean back, arms almost straight, a little bit lower on the bike. That way I can have some control. The other thing there, just another little pro tip, is my suspension's not gonna work as good if I'm on the brake. So if you see some pros, they'll actually brake when it's good to brake, you know, you have some dirt, and then they'll let off the brakes even in the middle of a braking point over a rock to get their suspension to work, and then brake right again. So they're actually going through modulating, which is really insane, but it's one of those things that you're kind of thinking about your bike and all of this stuff working in tandem. So those are three tips to think about in braking, and watch for them throughout the course.